Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Oh, what a scene in Charlottesville on Friday night as the University of Virginia, the Wahoos, the Cavaliers with more than 50,000, its largest crowd in a couple of years behind Chandler Morris, get it done in not one, Ed, but two overtimes to beat the Seminoles of Florida State University. And no more undefeated are the Noles under Mike Norvell, and now there's a little bit of chaos as UVA was the center of the sports world and particularly the college football world in what is a jam-packed weekend, maybe the best of the season in college football with just chock full of mega matchups from the likes of Oregon and Penn State and Happy Valley, the Tide in Georgia, down in SEC country. Ole Miss, LSU, Lane Kiffin, Brian Kelly. You can't get enough of that. You still got other great matchups across the board. Indiana, Iowa. How about in the Commonwealth? Liberty, Old Dominion, rain or shine. Be there, SB Ballard, Cornblow Field. And we've got plenty of high school football to sprinkle in and talk with all of you this morning, too, on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV, wherever you may be tuning in. We are glad you're doing so and joining us a little bit after 10 a.m. Eastern. He's so kind of joining us on probably less sleep than me. And trust me, I didn't get much. Is the beat writer for UVA in the Daily Progress, Greg Madia, scheduled to join us to talk around be about 10:15 Eastern or so. And good morning to you out there, Woodrow. About the Wahoos and the Noles. How are you, Edward? How stunned were you with that? Because I knew if we did a show before that game, you would have said, how is Florida State only favored by 6.5, whatever it is? They're going to trash the Wahoos, Jack Lowe's boys by 3 touchdowns. You would have said that, wouldn't you? Now you would have had to eat crow, but you didn't have to say that because we didn't do a preview show.
Good morning to all. The coach greets all. I would have never picked it. I'm sorry, would not have picked it. I'd probably go 21-point Florida State win. It's huge. Nationally, it's probably not going to get a whole lot of attention, though ESPN talked about it a lot this morning. Yeah. It's big for Virginia. It's big for the state, obviously. Florida State's a very good team. Who knows? They may not lose another game the rest of the year, maybe one. But this is big for Virginia. Now, I don't want to play the bad guy role. Or the how'd you say it?
Don't do it. You're going to rain their parade right now.
What was the word you always want to use for me? A crumb munch or munch?
You're a curmudgeon. Yeah.
Curmudgeon.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you are.
UVA. I love it. I'm a Virginia all the way guy. Let's go. But don't come back now and lose to Wake Forest or whoever. Get this thing rolling now. At the beginning of the year, I thought Virginia at best was a 6-6 team. We talked to David Teal about that. I think he agreed. Now, can this momentum give him a little bit of momentum because it's a double overtime win? Yes, it was at home, but that's big. You know, it can make one big mistake in overtime and the game's over. They didn't do that. They pulled it out. So let's just try to follow this up. All the UVA grads and that should be fantastic. I think I heard Jack was – he rushed the field like they did last night. About 38 people got hurt. I think Jack was one of them. I think he's laying under the east end goalpost right now.
No.
We'll check on him, though.
By the way, their next game is at Louisville, which is no picnic. So, and Woody makes a great point. Florida State beats Alabama and loses to Virginia. Go figure that out, right? But that's college football because if you play the Team A beat Team B who beat Team C, it doesn't mean Team A beats Team C. That transitive property, Woody, will get you in trouble because Ed Young has lost a lot of predictions battles with me over the years for using the transitive property, which you cannot do, particularly in sports and especially the sport of football. It'll get you in lots and lots of trouble.
Yeah, on college football, what's the show they do with Nick Saban and them? They're at Happy Valley.
Called Game Day.
Game Day. Yeah. And it's funny, all those guys are wearing white suits. I should have got my white suit and wore it today in honor of that game.
Oh, your Ricky Pitino white suit, huh?
Yeah, I should have wore that. Doggone it. I didn't have enough time to think about that. And by the way, that's going to be an interesting game because this guy, who is a proud Pennsylvanian, who grew up with all Penn State football forever and ever and ever, is picking Oregon to knock off the Nittany Lions.
No way. How about this? Let's do it right now before I share on our screen, by the way, because we don't have the ability, unfortunately, we can put up the Facebook and the Twitter X comments. I'm going to show you some of the Instagram comments. I wish I could do that, but I'm going to share the screen on mine that I can show. At least there's probably more than that. But how about we do this? How about if Oregon loses, you got to dress up in a duck suit. Whereas if Penn State loses, I'll wear the Penn State, what do you call it? What is it? The lion?
The lion.
You do the show in a duck outfit. Oh, that's good OJ, isn't it? That's good OJ.
Yeah, good OJ, my man. Good OJ. You got my money? By the way, you got my money?
No, I don't. You have till 5 o'clock. Wipe yourself off.
It's an inside joke, people. If you watch
Family Guy. It's an inside joke. It's an episode of Family Guy. Exactly. Stewie. Yeah. With Brian. But yeah, so you don't want to do that? You're not for that, are you?
Well, I'm not buying a duck suit. I can tell you that right now. I'm not buying a duck suit. So you could forget.
Well, listen, it is all that it's quacked up to be. Trust me.
Well, it couldn't be any worse the time I lost a bet and I had to wear the Arizona jersey. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was bad for you. Speaking of, well, don't even bring up Arizona right now. I'm upset. Hey, look who's watching and interacting on the show. We got people on Instagram. Coach Littles, who was out there. We'll talk about that game coming up. Kings Fork Oscar Smith, the former Bulldogs coach in there. He says, good morning. Coach DB, our buddy over there at Windsor, doing great work. Coach Du Bois, they got a win. We'll tell you about that in a bit here. Took down his nose. We got Justin Hunter watching too, by the way, former NFL stud who
Justin Hunter, man,
it's a lot like Justin. Yeah, former. You remember
Hunter.
Him, Ocean Lakes, played in the NFL,
Justin,
and there's a guy in a 757 that's catching it like Justin these days. Yes, there
that's
is.
what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Justin Hunter, man. He's one of the best athletes ever come through here. Doesn't get enough recognition when we talk about the greats, but thanks.
You know
for
what we're going to do, by the way?
Justin.
Not today because we have a busy show, but we're going to sit you down since you're the old head like that. You're the old head, even though your last name is Young. Yeah, you're the old head. We're going to have you and all kinds of great things. I mentioned ODU's got a football game today. They had their Hall of Fame on Friday night, which I heard was a terrific time. We're going to have you sit down one of these days and do your maybe a top 50 Hampton Roads athletes, and we'll do like a countdown. But maybe this is a good summertime topic, like 50 to 40, 40 to 30, 30 to 20, and you can encompass all the different sports. So you can put in track and field, baseball. We'll have the Ed Young list, and Matt Hatfield will detach himself from the list so they can all send their complaints to you when you have so-and-so number 8 as opposed to number 12, because all I'm getting hit with now are, why do you have this team in your top 10 number 6 as opposed to number 5? I'm getting that all the time. So we'll let them complain at you and throw rocks at you. And if you get hit by a rock, we might have to rush you to the emergency room, but we'll power through and get through.
Speaking of your rankings.
Here we go. See what I brought up?
I wanted to say this before you spouted off last night. Now, I'm probably going to get them wrong. There's 2 of them. And you spoke highly of both. You had somebody as an honorable mention. It was Loudoun County or Loudoun Valley. One of them you put as honorable mention. They should have been ranked. Now they're both 5-0, coming up with a meeting, October 3rd, 10th?
Look at you. You're watching the Hat Sits IG Live special. Okay.
I know if I'm not watching it, I have cronies that are watching you every time.
Cronies, okay.
We got you. Remember, I haven't talked to my guy in a long time, but let me bring him out here. Don't forget, Vinny Banu. Okay, my attorney, he's got an eye on you. But anyways, they should have been ranked, and now you're talking the greatness of them, and I'm like, Hatfield don't even have them ranked. So I was going to get on you about your rankings. You didn't think I don't care about your rankings.
Now, since you want to play this game real quickly before we go through the scores. And again, we got Greg Madia coming up in 10-15 minutes. We love how you let them play this game. You're the guy, and you're not like Dickie V. Drink that OJ up. Good OJ. You're not like Dickie V, who always says come Selection Sunday when college basketball. If you want to complain about team number 65 or 69 now, I guess it went from 64 to 68.
Win your game.
That got left out of the tournament. No, not win your games, but who do you want to replace them with? That's what I always say. So
bring up the rankings.
Well, I'm doing that right now as we speak. So we'll share the screen again, and we'll highlight Class 4 since that's what he was talking about, folks, ladies and gents who are watching 757 Sports Talk this morning with us on Cova Sports TV. And wherever you are tuning in, it's always available. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. But since you love to do that, we will put up on the screen the Class 6 through 1 top 10. We won't have you comb through them all, but you were complaining about Class 4, right? Did I get that right? Class 4 was the one you complained about? All right, we'll zoom in even more so that you can get a good look at this. It is a little the type gets a little more blurry. But you have Loudoun Valley outside of top 10 who won. So who do you want to swap them out? Now, you can't say GW Danville because they beat Laura Botetourt on Friday night. John Henley plays today. Huguenot won. Louisa won. Jefferson Forest lost by a field goal to Liberty Christian, who, by the way, has won now 30 straight games against Virginia opponents. So it's hard to bump them out. And you're not taking out Dinwiddie, Phoebus for runner, even Lafayette, who lost in overtime on a field goal. So you complain, you open your big mouth, and I do emphasize big mouth, and you want them in the top 10, but you got to take somebody out. So that's all I'm saying.
Danville beat
Lord
Botetourt last night, right?
They did. Close game. Good game.
Yeah, hold on. Time out. I'm complaining about the rankings before last night. So before last night, Loudoun Valley should have been 10th, and GW Danville should have been honorable mention. That's before last night. So
based
Danville,
on wait. Based on what? GW Danville losing a close ball game?
They're 2-1. Loudoun Valley's 4-0.
Well, so because a team has a goose egg, that means they're better than a team with a loss. Is that your theory?
Not necessarily. But when we talk rankings, they're very subjective, and it's just a certain person. And I will give you credit because you know these teams way better than me and better than most anybody across the state. But when you just do rankings, I have a trouble seeing a 2-1 team ranked over a 4-0, 3-0. Now you're going to say, so let's say now Loudoun Valley people don't take this the wrong way.
Wait. Let me stop you right there. So in that method, you want Green Run ahead of Maury. Is that what you're saying? Since you're looking at Class 5 right there?
No, I'm gonna hedge a little on that because I know those teams a little bit better. I kind of like the idea that Maury lost to who was it? The team from Maryland.
No, from North Carolina, Cardinal Gibbons.
The other Cardinal Gibbons mixed up in there. I can live with that one. I can live with Green Run right behind Maury because I know what Maury has. Probably if I saw GW Danville live, know what they have, I might shut my mouth and say, all right, Hatfield got it right. But I'm saying, and of course, the other part of me is I knew that the big showdowns coming up.
Well, that's what I'm about to tell you. Why don't you, all the people that are upset with me last week for not having Warwick ranked, which was 1 and 2 at the time before they trounced Heritage 61 Donut. And by the way, Warwick plays Phoebus today, who also has Highland Springs next week as they try to even the all-time consecutive win streak that they shared from years ago with Riverheads, who matched that mark with 52 consecutive wins back in, I think it was 2022. But anywho, why don't you go with the method I told the Warwick fans that got upset with me and said, well, go win your games. Go beat Loudoun County, Loudoun Valley in a couple weeks, and then you're in the top 10. Stop complaining about a sample size of 4 games. It's not like I told you that you were in the bottom 10.
No, and that's true. Slide over a little bit. Let me see 2A. I got a team I think I want to see in there. 2A.
Team you want to see in there in 2A. He's going to go now. He's dissecting the rankings, folks. Who are you?
Yeah, I know you're the Graham. The G-men are tremendous, but they're having a little rough start.
They did lose last night to Princeton of West Virginia, so they're probably going to spiral downward. This was before last night. Correct.
I would have Graham out of the top 10. Graham out of the top 10 before
out
last
of it.
night.
Defending state champs, you want out of the top 10.
Out of the top 10. And I would have had probably, I'm trying to debate Floyd County or Buckingham in there.
Okay. But if Floyd County or Buckingham played Graham tomorrow, are you that bold enough to pick them over the G-men?
Who Floyd County's playing them?
I said either the Buffaloes of Floyd County or the Knights of Buckingham played the G-men tomorrow. Are you that bold to pick them?
I would take no. I'm gonna be honest. I take G-men. I'm just talking about.
I know. So wait a second. You're just dissecting the rankings, and then you say I'm going to pick the team you got ranked higher.
And here's another team I want to see on the honorable mention list this week.
Hold on.
The Dukes of Windsor High.
You want them up there? Okay.
I want them on the honorable mention list.
We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look. And by the way, now that I've started an honorable mention list, people get upset when they're not on the honorable mention list too, by the way. Not just in the top 10s, but they get upset when they don't get honorably mentioned. And I'm blaming you for all of that. It's all your fault.
I told some people. I had some people stop me and say, hey, what does Hatfield use for the rankings? I said, well, he's got a lot of, if you see his room, he's got all these little notes up. He's got his book. You can't read none of the scribble. He's got people all over the state. He's getting picked stuff from everybody. He's got 3 cell phones. So just 2. He really works into that. I go, You don't just arbitrarily throw him out there like I do. I said, he gets it. But I said, now, so his head don't get too big and he keeps doing these pool ventures, get on him. Get on him a little bit. No problem getting on him. So that's probably why you're getting it. I told those people to take care, get on you.
Okay. Well, since you've and I both, I'm not going to blame just you, have wasted a lot of babble and time here. We're going to have to quickly go over some of the scores from last night and fire up a little bit of music because we have Greg Madia coming up. We have to take a break shortly, and we'll have to sprinkle in the interviews when we get time. We got two of them, Lonnie Andrews of Oscar Smith with Travis Johnson after their win over Kings Fork, as well as the coach of the Tigers, Chris Scott. But take a couple quick districts. We'll give you some quick hitter thought reaction to them. Where do you want to begin, sir, as you look at your sheet of scores over there?
Well, first of all, because we did mention a couple of times, give a longtime listener for us, a supporter of us, Ben Du Bois, head coach at Windsor. They knock off Franklin 14-6. So let's just start off with one of those right off the bat on there. Let's go. Let's see who had played a lot of Thursday games so we can get those guys taken care of. How about let's go Peninsula. Thursday was Woodside 41-21 over Menchville. Denby 35-0 on Heritage. And Thursday also Bethel 53-0 on Kickinton. Boy, the losers can't score. And a game that you beat me, the only one you beat me this week, you took Glen Allen over Hampton and 47-13. They prevailed. Come on, grabbers. I had you in that one. And a big one today, Phoebus at Warwick. Big one today.
Yeah, it's over at Todd Stadium. And, I did have the Jaguars, which was Friday night in Richmond, to take down the Crabbers of Hampton, and they did so with ease. Thank you, Malik Sexton, former Churchland quarterback, for getting the job done. Glen Allen showed their for real. Their only two losses were, by the way, two pretty quality opponents in Thomasdale and Manchester, both ranked in our Classics top 10. Let me stop you and go back to that Bethel game, though it was a total beatdown. How about Maury Pryor, who's going to Hampton University? We call him Ferrari Amari. He had a good rushing performance, even in losses to Churchland and Warwick. Runs for 209 yards on 20 attempts to go with 3 catches for 101 yards. Is he – we know what I think about the best back in the state. It's Savion Hyder of Louisa, who's going to Michigan. But is Amari Pryor right now, today, the best running back in the 7.57? I know some other candidates that you can tell me about, like Charles Jackson of Green Run, who's committed to Old Dominion, Junior Tayshawn Branch of Maury, among other candidates in that conversation. But right now, with the numbers Pryor's putting up, is he the best guy? Is he your Ed Young high school football fantasy pick number one at tailback?
With those kind of numbers, I'm quick to jump on there and say yes. And he's on a good team, which is good. Now you're going to have some dissenters say, "Well, we gave Mark back the ball." You're not. So looking at those numbers, don't lie. But I'm going to hedge because I'm not as good as
your mic's going out. I don't know what's going on. Are you backing up from your computer? What's going on here?
I hope I don't get too close.
All right, go ahead. Repeat what you said. We lost you the last little bit there.
No, what I'm saying is, if we say because of his numbers, others will say, well, we have a guy that if we give the ball 20, 30 times, he would have 400 yards. Okay, I'm going to give it to him right now because he's got the numbers and he's on a team that's doing a great job. So let's go with him. Hey, Smithfield High Athletics reposted this stream. Come on. It might be my boss man. I think that's.
Yeah, that means they're watching the show to make sure you don't say anything that's controversial or.
I don't need to, man. I don't need to. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. That's debatable. Well, you just covered the peninsula. Why don't you get the Bay Rivers out of the way? And I know you don't want to talk about that score. First of all, you didn't pick the Packers last week against War Hill. They win a great comeback from double digits down. Kyle Buggs rallying the troops on offense. His receivers making plays. Defense bending but not breaking. And then they lose a tough one. Oh, it was a tough one. You weren't there, right? Because it was on the road, correct? At New Kent?
We were at New Kent. And I picked them. I saw Tracy Parker Friday morning. I said, Tracy, I got you 28-26, I think it was.
Oh, that was the kiss of death. That was the kiss of death, Packers fans.
And I said, as he walked away, I hope I don't jinx you. What did I do? So now I know Tracy will be waiting for me in the hallway. And I'm probably going to get a beat down. So I just can't believe it. 28-27 Was it? Am I right? 28-27. And it was
New Kent. You've underestimated for years, and they always burn you, don't they? In these picks,
I always get burned by New Kent. Who's New Kent playing next week? See if I got to tell you right now.
It's a great question. Give me one moment, and I can tell you. I didn't have my.
He's
schedule.
looking that up. Jamestown beat Bruton 18-12. Tab knocked off Grafton 49-6, and on Thursday night, War Hill no problem with York 35-0.
Well, you're leaving out the big one, too, by the way. New Kent hosts York next week as they try to get their third straight win under first-year head coach Scott Giralmo, who's done a good job in previous stops, like at R.E. Lee Stanton. Took them to a state championship game appearance before going to Battlefield and Prince George. What about the biggie? Poquoson, Lafayette, game-winning field goal for the Bull Islanders, huh?
How about that one? I think we both lost that one. I didn't see that coming. I know Poquoson, you're very good. I get it.
Well, you have been sleeping on Poquoson since the summertime. I tried to warn you when you didn't have number 2, and they're going to be number 1 now in the BRD. Not number 2, Ed Young, they number 1, although Daryl will argue it's always Maury.
I got to give him the prop, no question about that. But and really, not only to win, but to hold Lafayette to 7 points. No way. You could have made me say that. There's just no way. I'm looking Lafayette on a bad night's getting 30 points. So Poquoson really dug in there and took that one. But I also think that might be a wake-up call for Lafayette. You know, they stumbled a little bit the first game of the year against my Smithfield Packers. Come out with a win. But, you know, it wasn't automatically just waltz right through them. So this could be a little
injuries too, by the way, getting Josh Simpson back. But the big thing was the turnover bug. How about that Poquoson defense with Austin Conley and Carter Jones? And I think it was Mr. Montgomery with a couple of takeaways, fumble recovery and an INT. Braylon Montgomery, the DB. They had 5 takeaways and actually they had 4 takeaways, 3 interceptions in the second half alone. It was 5 for the game. So yeah, they ripped the ball away from Lafayette. And if you take the ball away from people, Ed, you know, you as a basketball coach, you take the ball away, you're going to have chances to win. Fewer possessions, right?
Oh, yeah. You take the kids' ball away from them, they're going to cry and go away.
Cry?
You know, very uncharacteristic game of Lafayette. All them turnover. You know, they have that many turnovers probably in a given year. Now, you're telling me in one given game. Very uncharacteristic. Like I said, could be a wake-up call for them. And not that they really need one, but
right.
I would go on the limb and say they won't lose again until they're deep in the playoffs.
Okay.
If they're going to lose.
Okay. Well, we'll go through some more scores from the beach, the Eastern and the Southeastern, plus those clips that we teased earlier with the likes of Chris Scott, of Oscar Smith, and Travis Johnson, the Michigan commit 4-star receiver, Lonnie Andrews III, the quarterback, who's just a junior for the Tigers as we move it along. Plus, we got a special guest later on with George Pantos. He's coming back on the show. Yeah, big wrestling show coming up next week at the Kroc Center in Norfolk. But when we return, the story of the day in all the sports, big day of college football, UVA's big upset of Florida State. And Greg Madia is so kind to join us on probably less sleep than you and I combined, which is saying a lot because I didn't get much last night either. So he's going to talk about UVA's big win in Charlottesville when we come back after the quick break here on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. It's free.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Oh, what a night it was in Charlottesville. Double overtime, 46-38 as UVA knocks off the Seminoles of Florida State, number 8 in the country. No longer unbeaten are they, and it's the 30-year anniversary of that big shocker from 1995 when UVA welcomed FSU rudely to the Atlantic Coast Conference, where suddenly now Virginia is a factor under Tony Elliott. We're so delighted to be joined by the beat writer for UVA for the Daily Progress. Go check out all of his great work and follow him on the X or the Twitter at Greg Madia, our pal Greg Madia, who gets to enjoy that and bask in the glory, even though his Mets are biting their fingernails right now to try to get in. Greg, my D-backs are done, so you got to root against the Reds here these next day or two. But let's talk about the more important situation right now. Ed, don't crow about your Yankees. We don't care about them right now. Go play with them and play, though. But how about UVA's win? Speaking of that, here, we'll just make the baseball football analogy. If I told you last night, Greg, with the Mets in control and the craziness of baseball with what's happening in the AL with Cleveland and Detroit and everything, if I told you that UVA would be the front of the sports world on Saturday morning, what would you have said to me?
Honestly, I'm not shocked they won the game. I didn't think they would win it, but I'm not shocked. I thought going in, they had a shot, Matt. I did with what they were doing on offense and the quarterback. And given Virginia's history against Tommy Castellanos, who was at Boston College before transferring to Florida State this season, Virginia has gotten after Castellanos a little bit the past couple of years. I think he threw 4 interceptions in the 2 previous games against UVA, combined for 4 interceptions. They sacked him 3 times last year. He fumbled last year in the game UVA beat Boston College in at Todd Stadium. And he just wasn't very good. John Rodzinski dialed up the blitz, and it was late in the game. I think that mattered. Pavard had the 2 interceptions. Of course, both coming on pressure plays. One, Pavard was on the front end, and the second, he was on the back end, right? That sealed the upset win. But with what Virginia had done on offense, the first 4 weeks of the season, it would be unfair to not give them a shot to win the game. But the way they won it and the crazy game that it was, I mean, that game had everything, right? Big plays, touchdowns, some great quarterback play. Castellanos was really good at times. And Chandler Morris, he kind of rode the roller coaster too a bit, right? He did throw 3 interceptions, but he combined for 5 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 2 passing. It was that kind of night where it was just one of those fun, memorable games that anybody who's at Scott Stadium or anybody who's a fan of the Cavaliers will remember for a long, long time.
No question about it. Before I let Ed jump in here, and they're partying still in Charlottesville here this morning, that 30-year anniversary of knocking off the Seminoles. The thing that really stuck out to me, and you told me if I'm wrong, the big takeaway is that Virginia has really discovered just the offensive juice. They had a 16-play, 75-yard fourth-quarter touchdown that was the go-ahead score in this game. And just speak to me and Ed, educate the basketball coach and me here, haven't watched them, play by play like you have, what Des Kitchings is doing with the offense. We know about Tony Elliott being a pretty innovative offensive mind coming in from Clemson a few years ago. He's on the hot seat to an extent coming into this year. But my goodness, Kitchings has the offense. I mean, they're cooking something in the kitchen, huh?
Man, he's on a heater right now, right? I mean, goodness gracious, with what they're doing, right? He had 500 yards of total offense, at least the 3 previous games. He was really good. They've run for at least 200 in 4 straight games. Des Kitchings has dialed it up well for the Hoos, and they've been really, really terrific on offense. And then, Matt, the big part of it is the personnel, right? I know we've talked a couple of times since January, December, when they started loading up on players in the portal. They added all those offensive linemen, and they added some really good pieces around Chandler Morris, who was the big acquisition of the offseason. They added Jamari Taylor at running back from North Carolina Central. He's been terrific, 7 rushing touchdowns already. The wide receivers on the outside with Edrin and then Cam Ross in the slot to complement Trell Harris, who was already on the roster. It's an upgraded group. And when you have that many pieces, which Des realizes that he has, you're able to mix and match and create certain packages for certain players and schemes for certain players, where it's not all on one guy. Like the last couple of years, they've had, a standout player or 2 standout players. Like last year, Malachi Fields was a really good player they got the ball to. He's at Notre Dame now. The year before, Malik Washington was the top option. So they've just figured out how to use all these different players that they acquired through the transfer portal. So it is a really encouraging sign for Kitchings and the Cavaliers offense.
Chatting with Greg Madia of the Daily Progress, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. The Wahoos of Virginia, a big winner over Florida State in double overtime by a count of 46-38 as they improve their record to 4-1 overall on the season. Here with Coach Ed Young, our guest again, Greg Madia from the Daily Progress. It is 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Go ahead, Ed.
Hey, Greg, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I know you probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep, a lot of things you do. I know this guy over here didn't get much sleep either. I tried to get to bed by 10 o'clock, so I got enough sleep for both of you because I needed it too. But, it's obviously a gigantic win. But one of the things I said to Matt earlier when we talked about it was, and I don't want to sound like a downer on it because, again, I hope UVA wins everything. But don't come back now and stumble against a Wake Forest, a Duke. And I looked at the schedule. Matt has it on our was streaming there early, running across the ticker board there. Now I look at that schedule. Now Louisville was a game beginning of the year I thought would be tough to win, and then I had question marks about some of the next 3-4 games. I feel right now the way that offense is going, unbelievable. They scored 31 in a very close loss to NC State, their only loss. I look at that schedule, and it's not crazy to say they could run the table all the way to Virginia Tech. You feel that, or am I going too crazy because of this win? Because if they wouldn't beat Florida State last night, we probably wouldn't be saying this. But really, when you look at what they're doing, and this win should be a big boost for them, what do you think?
Yeah, I really do think that they're capable of with their schedule managing it and getting to a point where they're in ACC contention. I don't think there are any landmines on that schedule with what they have left. Like next week test is going on the road after you just had an emotional win at home. Like to me, that's the big deal. That's the challenge for the Cavaliers is after you pulled off that. And I apologize about my son in the background. He snuck in the room.
No, he's excited. Listen, you're doing the double. Yeah, he's excited, and you're doing the double duty. And listen, like I have to take care of Edge sometimes, so you can relate. It's all right. You're good.
But I was just gonna say, guys, that I think they're totally capable with what's on their schedule. Like last year, you looked at their schedule and you knew it was going to be loaded in the back half with Clemson and Notre Dame and SMU. They don't have that this year. They didn't draw those. That they didn't have that draw in the ACC where they're loaded with the ACC top contenders. They don't play Clemson. They don't play Miami. They've got a manageable path in front of them. There's a tricky game at Cal where you got to go across the country, Ed, right? You get that's a little bit different, and Virginia has not done that since Cal and Stanford have joined the ACC. It'll be their first venture west. So for me, I do think like it's totally possible for them to be in contention and make a run at this thing and possibly play in Charlotte.
Amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I'm saying when I looked at that schedule now, you're right. Now going cross country could be that situation. Carolina is not having the year people thought Belichick would have. But again, when you start riding high and think you're going to just walk over people, that's when you can trip up and lose. And of course, at the end of the year, they got a Virginia Tech team that we don't know what's going to happen to them as they go through their season too. But if they just take the old proverbial one game at a time, keep running the offense like they're doing right now,
yeah,
they could do it. And who could have thought Virginia playing for the ACC title, playing for national title among the 12? I never would have seen it coming.
It's really quite incredible, and it's a remarkable turnaround for Tony Elliott, right? And this as a program, they've dealt with a lot of things. I mean, what he inherited was not good, right? They had that exodus of offensive linemen, guys like Oluwatimi. Like if you think back to Tony's transition in after Bronco Mendenhall left, there were a lot of things that happened. Then in this first year, they had the tragedy where they lost. Where three of their players were killed in a shooting on campus. And since then, they've been trying to build and trying to do things the right way. And then the school finally got enough money committed where they could go rehaul the roster a little bit and figure out how to be competitive. I think they learned some things from those games last year against Clemson and Notre Dame and SMU, the way those teams were built through the trenches. And built up front, and Virginia made it a point in the portal to do that and fortify its offensive and defensive line. So for me, that's one of the big takeaways is they addressed the positions that needed to be addressed. They got older and more mature at quarterback, and it was it's worked out for them. But yeah, Ed, I don't know what defense is going to cause trouble and problems for them with the way they can beat you, right? They can beat you in the run game with Jamari Taylor. They can use Morris in the running game if they have to. He can throw the ball to 4 or 5 different receivers, the tight end too, right? Each of the last 4 games, Virginia has had a tight end that's caught a touchdown. They're just so versatile on offense, and Dez is distributing the touches really well, and they're figuring out how to get everybody involved.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Before we let you run here, Greg, and I noticed in the national statistics that UVA is like top 25 in 8 or 9 categories, most of which are on offense, but even some that are on the special teams area. As you know how fans are with the greed, the hunger to want more. What's the next step here for them in terms of what they might have to sharpen up on just a little bit? I know they had a few guys on the O-line that were dinged up, and you talked about the improvement they've made in the trenches there, but what's the next thing for them? Because they're now going to have a target on their back. They're no longer flying under the radar, if you will.
No, not flying under the radar at all anymore. I think some things in the secondary, right? Like Deuce Robinson, they didn't have anybody who covered Deuce Robinson yesterday from Florida State. And the past couple of weeks, they've given up some big plays in the passing game, a couple of 60-yard plus passes to Stanford, a 78-yard touchdown pass against William and Mary. Like they've got some things to work on in that defensive backfield. And I think part of that's too because all the defensive backs they brought in 9 in total. 7 came in after the spring. So that group's still learning kind of how to play together. And that was something that you kind of expected would have to get better as the year was going to go along, just because of the communication and the chemistry needed to gel in the secondary. So I think that's an issue. Clean up the running defense a little bit. And they gave up what, 30, 36, 38 points last night. So there's still some things to work on defense, and they got to get their punter healthy. Daniel Sparks, they're missing him a little bit in the punt game. He's got the hip flexor issue. So yeah.
Well, our last question for you. Jack wants to know, our buddy Jack Lowe from Cova Sports TV, asked Greg how you got home last night. Is there a funny story to this? We got to hear this. Go ahead.
You walked in the door 2:30-ish. The little man was up at 3. So he's up right now, as you guys can hear in the background. It's great. I love the little guy. But, nonstop. He fell asleep on the couch as I was kind of finishing up some work around 5 a.m. Got a couple hours of sleep. My wife she had to go to a wedding for one of her close friends last night.
Okay.
Babysitter here. It was a little bit of an adventure. So there's that.
See, Ed, the little guy's upset about the Mets loss last night, so he's got to sit home with Dad today and root on Clay Holmes to beat the Fish. Go fry the Fish in Miami and keep them in the mix.
It's fitting, the Mets and the Fish at the end of the season. It seems like going back to the 07, 08, it seems like the mighty Marlins are always in the way.
Well, I told you, Greg, I'm just going to tell you like I told this knucklehead. If you stay with the greatest sports franchise in the history of all sports, the Yankees, 27 titles, working on 28, we wouldn't have these issues. But you, the Mets, the lovable Mets, no problem. I wish them well. I would, even when they got my guy Soto, I was wishing them well. And maybe next year, you guys. Maybe next year.
Yeah, it's not going to be this year. Even if they get in, it'll be a short stay.
Do me a favor, and we thank you so much for coming on, Greg. Next time you come on, make sure you find me a copy. We can send Ed of that 2001 World Series on DVD. I know he doesn't really know what DVDs are anymore, but we can watch that for him or play that clip. Like
I said, if you keep living in the past, you'll never gain what your future is bringing.
We got to enjoy 2001 and 1986 like his Mets, because we don't get them all the time.
I wasn't even alive in 1986, so I haven't seen a Mets championship.
Oh. Well, in your lifetime, it'll hopefully come. But I'll tell you what you did say was a raucous atmosphere at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville as UVA knocked off Florida State in double overtime. Again, go check out his work in the Daily Progress, dailyprogress.com, and give him a follow on the X or Twitter at Greg Madia. Have a great weekend, my friend. Enjoy time with the little one, and we'll catch up again with you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Greg.
Greg Madia, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. Little guy was chatty this morning. We love it, though. That's what makes the podcast great. People get so upset about the TV radio. We love the little interaction.
I got no problem. What I was hoping for, he would climb. If you watch Greg, there was a TV on the dresser. He would climb the dresser.
No,
he'd come out with an elbow on Greg. I would have lost it had he done that. That would have been tremendous.
Tell him, Jack, he's living in the past of all them old championships the Yankees won. When's the last time you won one? How many years ago? Was Jack born the last time the Yankees won a World Series? I'm sorry, Jack.
This young whippersnapper here, he's full of himself today because his Wahoos get a win.
He should be.
He crawled out from under the stadium after getting crushed by 22,000 people, and now he wants to talk about, well, the Yankees, what have they done? Oh, they've championships in the past.
Hey, give it to him, Jack.
Jack.
Give him it.
27 titles, Jack. 27 titles.
And by the way,
all of your teams put together times 2 can't match that.
Oh, stop.
No matter what sport they're in.
It was back in the 1920s with Babe Ruth and stuff. It's been so long ago.
20s, 30s,
it was in the last
40s,
century.
50s.
That was in the last century.
Dominating. You guys. The world loves the Yankees. The world needs them in the World Series.
You spend as much as they do, you should be dominating. Hey, by the way, since my D-backs are out of it, I've adopted a new team. And we say good morning to Keith out there. Good morning, Keith, who now joins us on the stream. And
Keith,
more people are interacting on the Instagram
now. Haven't seen you. I did find the other Keith. There is another Keith who is the mascot for Smithfield. He's running for homecoming king.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
There is.
Hey, since my D-backs got officially eliminated on Friday night for squandering a 2-run lead against the Padres, I've adopted a new baseball team to root for in the playoffs. I adopted San Diego a couple years ago, and I adopted this team for part of last year because they were playing your Yankees in the ALCS. But I'm all in on Cleveland, baby. Come on, Stephen Kwan, Jose Ramirez, my man Rod Johnson out there rooting for his Guardians to get it done. After this amazing, what you said last week, it was nothing. Oh, it's nothing and something or nothing. It's something, folks. They did lose Friday night. And they're tied for the division lead with Detroit with 2 games to play against Texas, who doesn't have a whole lot to play for. But I'm rooting for your Rod and Bill Walcott, our buddy out there, the Cleveland guy. I'm rooting for the Guards now. I'm all on board. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for you guys. No Clase, no Ortiz. You got the best play-by-play guy in the biz with Tom Hamilton. Although your guy Dave Sims, hey now, who has been on the show with us before on radio, he's a very close second. We love Dave as well. We'll probably get Dave on during the playoffs to talk about your Yanks. Regrettably, it used to be the Seattle Mariners broadcaster too. We love Dave, but they're going to get it done. I see Cleveland's going to have this magic carpet ride, and I can just see them having this knock off the Yankees moment. Remember that year with Jabba? What was it? Jabba Chamberlain with the little midgets. Remember that year? That was great. Something's going to happen spooky to your Yanks. I'm putting the. I don't believe in voodoo curses, but I'm going to get my man Daryl to put the hex on him. How about that? Daryl's going to put the hex on him.
You're going to need it because I feel good about the Yankees getting into the. I don't think they'll win the division. I still think Toronto will win out on that, but I am a little nervous because we got to play the Red Sox in the opening round, and we have played horrible.
Whoa! Wait! Time out. Are you with 2 games to play? Are you gifting now the division to Toronto? Are you just handing it to them now? You're basically saying we're not going to win a division. You got 2 games to go.
Okay,
Cupcake schedule against AJ Risser's Orioles, who have already tanked the season. What are you talking about?
You got to understand. It's 2 games to go. Tiebreaker goes to the Blue Jays. So they would have to win both of them, and Toronto's got to lose for them to win the division.
So yeah, you're basically saying they can't go 2-0 and the Jays go 1-1.
I would think that I think the Yankees are going to lose either today or tomorrow to Baltimore. I hate to say it, but being a realist, I think they'll lose 1, and that seals it right there. So I don't care what Toronto does. I just don't feel the Yankees will knock off the Orioles in both. You say the Orioles tank. The Orioles played well against the Orioles against the Yankees for the most part. But I just feel that we're going to go in as a wild card, and we got to play Boston. Now, the good thing is all 3 games will be at Yankee Stadium, but that almost doesn't matter. We won 3 games against Boston all year. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, before we go to break here, because our time is limited and crunch today, and we've got coming up the interviews with Travis Johnson, Lonnie Andrews III, and Coach Chris Scott of the Tigers after their 42-14 triumph over Kings Fork in a Southeastern District rivalry game. But I want to get your take real quickly on 2 things. One, the field storming. I know it's an awesome celebration, but that wide receiver had to have gotten trampled for FSU. So I hope he's okay. And a lot of the media pundits out there today who are raining on the UVA parade are upset about that. So I want to see if that reignited the fires churning on you with the crowd storming, court storming situations. And secondly, it is WNBA playoffs. We're getting closer to the finals. I don't know if you saw what Cheryl Reeves scrolling across our ticker had to say, but the Lynx lost 84-76 to the Mercury, and she's blasting the officials, saying it was malpractice to have them work a WNBA semifinal game. She was ejected. Alyssa Thomas steals the ball from Nafisa Collier to seal the win with a layup. Collier was on the floor in pain after her leg made contact with Thomas. No foul was called. Afterward, they said the ankle injury was probably a fracture, and she went off. I don't know. We can't play it because there's some expletives, but a coach going off. I know it's WNBA, but we got college football. We're talking high school a lot this morning, and you also have the baseball playoffs get ready to start here soon. But did you happen to see that? Give me your first thought on the field storming 1, and 2, did you see what Cheryl Reeve had to say? As she channeled her inner younger Ed Young days, if you will.
We talked about storming the field, storming the court before. My younger days, I kind of liked it. It gave the crowd, excitement and winning. I don't like it now because last night you would have saw it looked like some people got hurt. Now, apparently Norville said this morning none of his players were hurt. As far as he knows, nobody got hurt. Right. That was good. And, there is, I think it's ACC. I know a couple of conferences have. It's a $20,000 fine. So Virginia's going to have to pay a fine for storming the field. And, of course, winning last night, they probably won't care. But when it comes down, that's a very volatile situation. It's not needed. It serves no purpose. Yes, it's a great win. Yes, the fans want to feel part of it, but this storming the field and the court.
It's getting dangerous now. You're right. Now, and real quickly before we go to break here, that Cheryl Reeve, I'll give you a quick quote from it. I don't want to use the board, but she goes, "If this is what the league wants, okay, but I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinal playoff worthy, it's effing malpractice." She did not hold back or mince words. We've seen coaches have tirades. I guess it's closer to the WNBA finals. And Cheryl Reeve, the Olympic coach now for the Team USA and the women. I mean, my goodness. And now her team, down in a series, little tricky. They were the favorite to win the WNBA crown. So I didn't know if you'd seen that or not, or how to take her thought.
I'd have to see the play to,
Okay. You haven't seen the play.
Even if she was 100% correct, you can't in all the conferences, leagues, pro, college, high school, it's not allowable to blast officials. They're above reproach in that manner. It's just the way it is.
Says a guy who's never done that at all in his illustrious career.
I have gotten on officials or said, if you lose a game and blame it on officials, the world says cry baby, cry baby, cry baby. So
cry baby. I
have lost games and I have won games where I thought the officiating was poor. Let's put it that way. It's been that way. But I always say to my players, we put ourselves in a situation to allow poor officiating to enhance the outcome. Not that they outright cheated. I stopped short of that. But yes, sometimes it happens. It's human nature. Sometimes in a calls, no call, make a crazy call. It does happen. And I'm an advocate for good officials. And I understand they're going to make mistakes. Human beings, I get all that. But for her to blast him and then use the 4-letter word, you're going to get fined. And you're lucky you're not going to get suspended. So you just can't do it. You just got to hold a tongue, because if our players do that, we go off on our players. So you got to be careful on your own self. So, but I'll get a chance to watch the replay, and I'll probably be cussing with her.
Ooh, all right. Coming up. No cussing in that segment. It'll be Lonnie Andrews III and Travis Johnson of Oscar Smith chatting about their 42-14 win over Kings Fork. They were down 14-7 in the second quarter in that ballgame, Ed, and it was tied up at the break. What changed in the second half? We'll get their take, plus that of the head coach of the Tigers, Chris Scott, and George Pantis around the corner, too, to talk about VCW. Ed's going to take him to the woodshed and grill him about why he turned heel, and we've got NFL picks for week number 4 after a couple of bad beats for both me and Ed here on the selection. It is 757 Sports Talk, and you're watching it with us all the time on Cova Sports TV. Back in just a moment.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Training here we go. All right, I'm here with the dynamic duo of the Oscar Smith Tigers. We have the quarterback, number 3, Lonnie Andrews III, who tonight throws for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the guy that caught a couple of those tutties tonight, 7 grabs, 196 yards, the 4-star Michigan commit, Travis Johnson. They win it 42-14 over Kings Fork. All right, this was supposed to be a big game, Lonnie. You guys have played in the last couple years, down to the wire type of games. But tonight it wasn't. What made you guys have the ability to pull away in the second half?
We came in with the right game plan. We know what we had to do. So we just followed the blueprint that the coaches gave us, and the blueprint shows that if we follow the stuff that they have make us abide by, then we're going to execute the job every time.
Travis, I'm sure you hear from other defensive backs that they can take you, they can lock you up, shut you down. Was there a sense that, all right, especially when you guys were talking about from last Saturday, not playing in Charles McLeod, being out of the game, that they thought they could do that, and that motivates you extra a little bit? Or?
It definitely motivates me, and what motivated me very much today was my Michigan receiver coach being here, so that definitely motivated me. But I really got to say thanks to my younger receivers, because we're missing Charles, Caden Walker, and Trayshawn Bradley. So our younger receivers they stepped up very well today.
All right, we'll see what Lonnie says in a second about this, but your receivers coach, shout him out and tell us what route will he be or catch will he be most impressed with from tonight's game, in your opinion?
Either one of my touchdowns or one of those jump balls over there. Definitely, yeah. We probably definitely gonna talk about that later.
All right. Is that your favorite to throw to him? Because it looks like, matter of fact, one play they took a penalty, not a sack, on you, and it felt like that sometimes can motivate the offense a little bit. Is it just, do you get a lot of joy throwing that jump ball at them because he's going to pull it down?
Yeah, I would say I enjoy throwing almost every route to him because if he catch the ball, I know he's gonna make a play. If he catch it, like we seen down here, he catch a 5-yard stop route, he take it for a touchdown. So just whatever route I throw to him, I know he gonna make a play. So it's just, I don't really mind throwing any route to him. I could throw a now route to him and just believe he gonna get yards. So
what's different about this Oscar Smith team now compared to the start of the season and even last year? What's different about this group now as we're 4 games into this thing?
I feel like we're hungry because we know it's not easy to go back to back. So we know instead of like haunting people, we're being haunted. So I feel like it just makes us more hungry, knowing week in and week out we have to be better than we were the last week, knowing that everybody's chasing after us because we're the reigning 6A state champions.
Sure. What do you take from a win like this, Travis? What can you apply moving forward? Because there are still some district tests that will come your way, the Nansemond Rivers and other teams that you play coming up. But what can you take from this game tonight, the second half, and use moving forward?
Just keep going step by step, brick by brick. Coaches keep preparing well. Players keep preparing well. Hickory on the clock. It doesn't matter. It's Hickory. We still have to prepare like it's a big game. Gonzaga, Kingsford, still got to prepare like a big game.
Good deal. All right, now this is the fun one here. What quarterback does Lonnie Andrews most resemble in the pro or college game? Give it to me. You got a receiver for him. Go ahead. You got to think of one. Go ahead. Who's
I give him a Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. All right, not bad. And he might win a Super Bowl this year, just like you got a ring special. How about who's the wideout when you're playing the Madden game? I would give you my pick, and I'm a Cardinals fan, as a guy that used to play. But who would be your pick? Go ahead.
Does it have to be NFL?
It can be. We can go ahead. College or pro? Who's your guy?
No Glaze. That's my J.J. Smith.
Oh, J.J. Smith is his pick. I thought you might say Larry Fitzgerald. But anyway, Travis Johnson, Lonnie Andrews, the dynamic duo from the Oscar Smith Tigers. They get it done tonight in Suffolk. Congrats, guys. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Good job. Yep.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
So you heard from Travis Johnson and Lonnie Andrews III. Big numbers for them as they have nearly 300 yards passing from Andrews with 3 touchdowns and nearly 200 yards receiving and a couple of scores for Travis Johnson, the Michigan commit. And Lonnie picks J.J. Smith, an Ohio State guy. I don't know how Travis feels about that, though. That's interesting on that pick there. It is 757 Sports Talk. But you can just tell that they're locked in. I mean, that they've gone through the ringer of all the big games, and they know how to operate in these moments. And Oscar Smith, they have been very, very strong since that season opening loss at Gonzaga and not missed a beat since then, even though there's been a couple of instances where Kings Fork and Indian River, their last 2 opponents, thought they had a chance to knock them off. They said, not so fast, my friend, as the former guy on College Game Day, Lee Corso, used to say. And by the way, speaking of College Game Day, you're taking some poundings on social from Andy Allen. Doesn't know Game Day, Coach? Seriously? Seriously, Coach? Yeah, seriously? Get it together, Coach. Come on, man. You don't know Game Day? Where you been? Get your head out of the sand.
Yeah, I don't still get an opportunity to watch a whole lot of TV like a lot of others. So that's as kids once used to say, my bad.
Yo bad. A lot of yo bad. But your reaction to what Travis and Lonnie had to say before we hear from Chris
Kids
Scott.
are excited. The kids are excited. You know, Travis is he's a heck of a talent. I really think we'll see him on Sundays eventually, get through his high school career, college. I get all that. And I think the Andrews youngster has really started to put himself – he's going to be, when it's all said and done, among the best quarterbacks in the 757. And of course, you know, we're going back to Phil Simms. Oscar Smith's had a few. Sure. So, but he's right in there too. And I agree with you. They're locked in. And who's left regular season to probably give them a battle?
Well, you look at the schedule, they got Hickory, Deep Creek next, Grassfield. Those should be pretty lopsided wins. Circle October 24th when they return to Suffolk to take on Nansman River, because I don't see them losing on Halloween to Great Bridge. I don't see them losing November 7th to Western Branch. Sorry, Bruins, I know you're improved, but that's the only game left in the district that could really be at all troublesome for them. But I think they're going to get through this pretty soundly and be the favorite to repeat in Class 6, where you mentioned the quarterbacks. They have had Philip Sims, J.J. Williamson, Greg Boone over the years, so many good quarterbacks. Oh, by the way, Sean Mitchell's now an assistant coach for them who set VHSL records, breaking some that Sims had set, and his future is so bright. We saw him as a freshman through that game-winning touchdown pass to Travis, then a sophomore against Indian River, and he led him on that comeback in the state championship game. Real quickly before we go through the rest of the scores in the SED, the Beach, and the Eastern District, hitting some privates and close things up here on this particular segment in the 10 o'clock hour, and then go to George Pantas, who's waiting for us. What makes you say that? Because you've seen other pros. Your time in Tidewater dates back to the Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, Ronald Curry eras of guys, Terry Kirby, among others. We talked about Justin Hunter earlier. What separates, what makes a guy like him that you say he's a pro? We've talked about some of the comps, like a Justin Hunter, like a Keandre Lambert-Smith, who we had on earlier this year after he got drafted by the Chargers out of Maury High. What makes you say? Is it just the athleticism being so uncanny, or there are more things to it than just that?
Well, you got to be careful, because when we say the athleticism, there's a lot of guys that have athleticism that don't particularly go up each level. You got guys in high school who are athletes and don't play on a high school team. Guys that look really good playing high school ball, whatever sport, don't go on into college. And then, guys you think are going to get drafted or signed as an unsigned free agent don't even go into pro. So when I see Travis Johnson, of course, I've watched him a lot on the basketball court, on the football field, the clips that I've seen him, he can get up and get the high pass. He doesn't have a problem coming over the middle to catch it. So he's got a degree of toughness. He can wrestle ball. He's strong enough to take a ball from a corner. He has that ability to separate, that free step, boom, turn around, catch it. And then he has the ability to gain yards after catch, which is a big stat that we want to look at. Can a guy get more yards than just where he caught the ball? I think he answers those questions. And I think he's a kid that some kids get full of themselves and they read your clippings too much. I don't think he is in that realm. I think he understands the gift that the good Lord has given him. I think parents have done a great job of making him be able to fit his helmet. And of course, the coaches will stay on him. So those things to me say, if he just continue, and he's got a whole lot of years in front of him first, you can be that kid. Now, we like to say get paid to play, but you get paid to play now in college and even some high schools, let alone just the pros. So I think he has that ability to do it. He's coming from a winning program, a culture of winning. Michigan, another one, culture of winning. And when he's there, they're going to win. And, that's big. That's another thing that's big, that, a lot of college coaches want to recruit players from winning programs because they get it. Not that they're not going to recruit a kid from a losing program or bad program, but they will look at those winning programs, especially the ones that are playing a tough slate also. So I do. I think he can get out there. He's not the only one, but I think he has it.
Unmute myself. There we go. Better to do. So, great comment there from Terry Batten, longtime Oscar Smith supporter over there. Smith O-line has gotten 2 starters back from injury and started moving folks last night. Great to see. He's spot on. Terry's witnessed it like I had the last couple of games. Their running game and production, something you'll hear coming up with Chris Scott. We talk about the coach from the Indian River game to now. It's gotten a little bit better, and those guys up front, the Davion Martins, the Wallaces, those guys blocking up front, big reason why. They're the unsung unit for that team, no question about it. And Alonzo Coley weighing in. We love Coach Coley jumping on the show. Woodside head football coach got himself a nice win Thursday night. We took our team to the game yesterday. Atmosphere was crazy. Kids had blast storming the field, talking about the UVA game. Had a blast storming the field, Ed. Had a blast. So, yeah.
Coach Coley.
Don't be mad at you. Keep storming. Field storming is here to stay.
Hey, Coach Cooley, I give you credit, man. If I'm taking those kids to that game and I would be a little nervous that my kids would get hurt storming the field. I know it's an event for kids, especially college kids.
You get nervous going on the roller coaster at that amusement park that doesn't sponsor our show in Williamsburg.
Yeah. I'm just not for it. I just think more negative can happen behind it. And I understand the idea behind it, but
thinking negative. Be positive for a change.
So I'm worried about people getting hurt, and that's being negative.
No. Listen, your concern is fair. They have to come up with some type of way where they can express themselves. You don't want them going out in the parking lots and doing what they do in some of these cities after championships and pro teams. You know what I'm talking about, where they set places on fire and things like that. You don't want that.
You cheer in the stands for your team. You get a bunch of people together. You take your shirts off. You get painted up. You act foolish.
We don't want you taking your shirt off. Keep that thing on, please.
Well, I'm not crazy enough, William. When I was a college student, I'm going to take my shirt off and paint myself all up.
Good.
And whatever.
Good.
But college kids are a little crazy. They do that kind of stuff. And that's good enough. Now you give them license to, hey, when we win big games or any game, y'all come rushing and get out. No, you are opening yourself up for people getting hurt, players getting trampled, whatever. Nobody is going to say, oh, it's okay. It leads to potential issues. And like I said, Virginia's probably going to get socked. I think it's a $20,000 fine now. And of course, maybe some programs say, I will pay to have a big win like that. But just think, and it's going to happen one of these days. Somebody gets hurt and it's serious. Now, what do we say? Oh, it's college kids.
Real quick, let's go through the rest of the scores, and then we'll hear from Chris Scott as well, because there were some games. We'll finish up with the Southeastern, but go to the beach of the Eastern. Where do you want to hit next? Because there were some games that had
Well, we did Smith.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we did the Smith and Kings Fork game. So let's finish it up. Indian River 59-16 over Grassfield. Nansemond River 49-21 over Deep Creek. Hickory 37-14 over Great Bridge. Pretty much how we picked those games. Mm-hmm. Eastern District. Boy, they got some scores here. Maury 77-6 over Churchland. I didn't see that big of a score.
Let me stop you right there. It was on the Hats Hits. We talked about it. 2 quarterbacks in the state on Friday night that were just absolutely fantastic. One is out in Southwest Virginia, Honeacre's Parker Lowe, a freshman. No relation to Brandon Lau, by the way. Spelled the same way, but pronounced differently. Parker, freshman, 15 of 19 for 304 yards and a school record 7 touchdowns in a 66-16 rout of Grundy. Damo Everett, the sophomore from Maury, that people were wondering about how good is he going to be, replacing Torrey Newkirk, 2-time state player of the year, now at UNC in the ACC. Everett, 15 of 23 for 336 and 7 touchdowns, and he sat, I think, the entire fourth quarter, Ed. 7 touchdowns and 336. I think Doreen McCain's got him grasping the offensive system now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think he's in total control. And again, I had, like you, Maury winning, but no way you could have told me 77-6.
No,
it just.
And Churchland was averaging 48 a game coming in, by the way.
And Churchland, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying that's how good Maury is. And I think people were forgetting the first couple games of the year. That's not indicative of how bad, or if they're even bad. Churchland's having a pretty good year. Other scores: Lake Taylor 63-41 over Granby. Thomas Jefferson out of Richmond 61 Zippo on Booker T. And the close game of the night in Eastern District, Norview 19, Manor 12.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Fact or fiction? Lake Taylor is averaging the most points per game now in the Eastern District. Is that a fact or fiction?
Because Maury didn't score a whole lot early, I'm going to say fact.
Look at you doing your homework. Well, it was prior to last night Churchland, but now
117th win in fact or fiction. I like it.
No, not quite. You didn't win the game. But Hank Sawyer's Titans are now averaging 63 a game. They've not scored less than 34 a game, which means we're curious to see if Maury's defense can keep them below a certain number. I think Maury will win the game when they square off October 24th at Lake Taylor on their brand new turf over there. But Hank's got the offense humming over there, no doubt about it. That was your surprise pick, much like my pick was for Chilhowie. We're both looking good about that for our surprise improved story picks there in football. Mine on the high school side, yours was as well. Let's go to the beach now, because there was an upset brewing. The school I once walked the hallways had a 10-point lead on Green Run into the second half, and it was, squeaky bum time, fingernail biting time, shaking in the boots time, but Brandon Williams' Stallions were able to rally it.
And they come out with a 28-17 win, does Green Run over Kempsville. We both had a feeling it would be close. Sometimes when we do that, the game ends up like Maury in Churchland 77-6. But this one was tough. Kempsville made a statement in this game. Green Run showed some resolve, though, able to come back. And I think when you're on a course to possibly win in the state championship, whatever sport, as a coach, you like to win some close ones. I hate to say this now, but I will. You even want to make sure, can we get down, especially late, to somebody good and be able to come back and win that game too? Because if you can win in those different manners as you get into playoffs, you'll feel more confident because we've done this. Fellas, we've been through this before. No need to panic, no need to doubt. So Green Run needed that. They got that.
And by the way, the big play in that game, well, they got great running from Charles Jackson, the ODU commit, and Tristan Williams, who goes by the nickname of Pitbull. Corvin Watson, the sophomore, I think it is, sophomore or junior, the Granby transfer, the pick 6 late in the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, that put Green Run up 2 scores after they took the lead. That was immense in that ball game on Friday night. What else happened in the beach? Give me the rest of the scores.
We had Bayside 48-33 over Lansdowne. Maybe the number of points was surprising. I thought it'd be a little bit lower scoring, but I figured Bayside can do it. John White trying to stick in there. I had picked them to win the week before. No, lose. I wasn't. And they won. But I got them this time. Cox 24-7 over Kellam. Ocean Lake smacks Princess Anne 64-7. And Salem shuts out First Colonial 42-0.
2 questions as we get ready to play the Chris Scott clip and then go to break. And then we got George Pantos joining us. Answer this one for me. Salem, without their quarterback last week and Landon Curls with a knee injury, they shut out First Colonial 42-0, no shock. They played Green Run competitively last year in the regional final. Does Salem give Green Run a go coming up next Friday at Green Run? That's question number 1. Then I'll give you question 2 to follow up for the beach.
I want to say yes, but I think Green Run takes that by at least 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Is the timing rough because Kempsfield just really played them to the wire, and now Green Run is overdue because they didn't play great the entire night against Cox? Had a good first half, not so good second half. Are they due to kind of explode on somebody early? Is that what your thought is?
I'm waiting for an explosion game. I really am. And Salem is good. I mean, you're going to have to really work to put points on the board against the Salem team. And Salem is very capable of putting them on too. But I don't know if this will be the same type of game as the Kempsfield Green Run game was. That's where I'm at. Now, did you say that the quarterback for Salem has just come back? Or he's nursing an injury?
I didn't know. I don't know if he played last night against FC or not. I have not gotten a report, but I can tell you he didn't play against Bayside the week before. A knee injury he suffered in the game prior to that against Lansdowne, who, by the way, though they're only 2-3, Lansdowne, Robert Jackson and his swan song. A lot of good sophomores and freshmen, underclassmen on that team, juniors too. We talked about it in the summertime that they have some talent over there. My second question to you is, all right, so Green Run's going through the teeth of the beach now. Cox, Kempsville, Salem, Bayside has a bye week. They're suddenly 4-1, best start in a while. Then they have FC on a Saturday before they play Green Run that Friday. Fact or fiction? We did it with Lake Taylor Maury. Bayside's averaging more points per game than anybody else in the Beach District, including Green Run, as that win streak is creeping into close to 60 with the playoffs included and 50 regular season. Is that fact or fiction? Bayside's averaging more points per game than
I'm jumping in on the fact wagon too, because Green Run has not gotten those 40, 50-point games that we're used to seeing, and we go with them. So I'm going to say that is a fact.
Okay. Well, it's fiction. You're incorrect. I know you got to take that.
And you mark down another loss.
Yeah, that's an L. That's your 97th loss. What the heck is that? That's a jumbo pin you got there.
Well, you got to know how to write. So when I want to make sure. And see, I used this back in the day when I was teaching elementary kids. We would write, and then when they would not listen, I'd say, hey, you know, you just kind of like, wake up now. Come on, wake up. So
Unbelievable. Hey, as we go to break, would you like to hear from the head football coach of the Tigers, of Oscar Frommel Smith, after their win over Kings Fork?
Let's leave that mastermind behind that Tiger offense, defense, Chris Scott. You got a chance to speak.
All right, I'm here with Oscar Smith, head football coach Chris Scott. As Tigers win it tonight, 42-14 over Kings Fork. Dominant second half, coach, 28-0. We spoke Saturday at Indian River. It was hot, humid. You had a great first half. let the foot off in the gas second half. Tonight it was the opposite. The second half was a strong finish. Well, what is it about this team when you have those sudden quarter bursts or half bursts? It feels like you're unstoppable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I tell you, there was just a lot of leadership. I tell you, I got outside of myself, and then Lonnie and Giovanni Simmons and Tajay from last week, they're like, Coach, from the leadership lessons we had, they stepped up and they pulled the team, and the energy just shifted. And then from flip to the defense, we got ourselves back under control. So we drove the ball. We just didn't finish drives. It was a little frustrating with a penalty here, penalty there. Those things accumulated. So I was so proud of, what you preach. And I had to do a little bit more practice than what I preached, but they did a lot of the preaching and getting us back. So I was really, really thrilled with their leadership.
It felt like you could have been and probably should have been up 21-14 at the break. I didn't ask your dynamic duo who had a great game the other night, Lonnie Andrews, who throws for 296 and 3 touchdowns, and the Michigan commit Travis Johnson, who catches 7 balls for 186 yards and a couple tutties tonight about this. But it felt like there was a scoop and score play that got wiped away that should have been yours. Coaches, players in the locker room, did it feel like we got robbed and you kind of used it as a rallying cry? What was the sense?
Yeah, it was. I was. That's one of the plays that got a little riled up because it seemed like we were setting up for the extra point, and then it was from there. Instead of the kids being upset, I was a little upset about it, and then they were like, "Coach, we're coming back to take all of that. We're going to get that and then some." And I was like, "Wow, this is the group that's where you want that turning point when it clicks mentally for them." And then you could just see Travis was on a mission, putting that ball up, coming back. Lonnie, scrambling, hitting them down the middle on I wouldn't call it a busted play, but obviously getting outside the pocket. So there's a couple of those plays that were made. Travis coming back and taking the ball out of the air was one that was almost a pick, but it was incomplete. But then we still end up scoring on that drive. So just some of those things were really big plays because they held it together mentally.
I know you and I have talked about this before. You coached a guy that went to the NFL, wide receiver at Ocean Lakes, and Justin Hunter. And there's been some narrative talk about, all right, how great is Travis Johnson? Your number 2 guy who stepped up against Warwick and Charles McClown did not play tonight.
Yeah.
You heard about Kings Folks DB's being good, but these last 2 games, Travis has shown he's elite, isn't he?
He's very elite. And as you say that, I mean, I've sent the film to Justin. I put him in text groups, and you can see some of the dexterity and how they move a little bit because both of them were basketball players, and you can see a little bit of that, that movement from a basketball court that's transferred over to a receiver. And both of them could catch the ball short, and for a long strider, take it the distance. And that's what you kind of saw from Travis. I got ready to say Justin. Yeah. From Travis tonight.
Well, it's easy to compare. I mean, difference. I asked both of them who the wide receiver and quarterback. There's just that chemistry there from last 2 for you. There was also a lot of talk coming in, and rightfully so. They beat a really good Wise team to start the season about which defense was better. It felt like your defense, you might not have as many of the hallmark names, but boy, they're coming even with some guys like Maury Jarvis, who's committed to Buffalo, Jane Coble's committed to UVA. And how about Mr. Bynum tonight? He's coming into his own as a star at corner for you.
Certainly is. Big plays out there. And, if you remember last year, that's what kind of like what we said about that early defense, about how guys were coming on, and it wasn't maybe this big star-studded. Now, they had great players, but it was just more so how they played as a unit. It wasn't that one player was making consistent plays, that they collectively. And that's what all of a sudden you're like, who's that 2-7? Oh, he's a sophomore. Who's that 2-9? Oh, he's a sophomore. Oh, there goes Flip, and there goes Key, there goes Coville, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, and Malachi is just an all-state linebacker returning. So
maybe the unsung hero of your team. And it's funny, your depth is showing. Lastly, you get this win tonight. It feels like 42-14. It's kind of ho-hum, matter-of-fact, business-like. Do you like it that way?
I like it that way. I tell you what, again, when you coach guys up and then you get a chance to see how they coach with leadership, and Coach Simmons got us rallied. He got everybody's head back on, and it's just business. And that's exactly what kind of he went about from this week. We had to be smart with our bodies. We had to be a little bit unorthodox with the short week, how much fluids we lost, and then just keeping their heads in the mental practice of how we pulled it out. It showed in the second half. We were mentally stronger as a unit this game, and it's definitely under the leadership of these great coaches.
We'll go enjoy it, rehydrate, replenish, refuel with the Gatorade, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So there you heard it. That was Chris Scott of the Oscar Smith Tigers, 42-14 over Kings Fork. Ed, looking pretty strong and validating their ranking as number 1 in the state in Class 6. Could they get beat? Yes. Do I know who beats them? No, I don't know who beats them in Class 6. I don't.
No, you could, we don't bet on high school sports, but you can
don't say that.
mentally bet on Smith to win the state title at 6 and not be wrong. So
but there's some teams that are good, like Colonial Forge is really good, won a thrilling game, but their bugaboo every time is Oscar Smith in the state semis. They've lost to them like 5 or 6 times. Northern Virginia will have a team that can power run the football and maybe be a little more or as physical as them, perhaps. And there are some things that could, by then maybe derail Smith from repeating. But You just have a couple of guys that can really strike, and then that defense is starting to, like he talked about there, they're getting better. The line play we hit on with Terry is getting better. There's a lot of things that come October, November will look different about this team as they continue to grow and get on that quest to repeating and making it back to JMU. When we return here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV, we're going to do some NFL picks for week number 4. The selections have not been too great, folks, for yours truly, the coach, and me. Bruce Pearl actually went 2-1 last week with Minnesota covering the -3 and Washington covering the -3. I had Washington as well. It was my lone win. He lost on Rams plus 3.5, as did I. That was just actually, I didn't lose on that one. He lost on that one. I lost on San Francisco -2.5 and over 50.5 with the Cowboys and the Bears. It was 31-14 into the third quarter. Neither team could score a touchdown. Dallas, you stink. You know what? I don't like to say this word. You suck, Dallas. You suck, Cowboys. I was so mad at them. I finished under 500 when I should have been easily 2-1, if not 3-0. You, sir, had a win with Seattle -7.5, lost on the Bucks -6.5. Won the game outright, though. That blocked field goal return, much like the Rams game, did you in, and the Packers minus the 7.5 also was a loser outright, not just against the number there. So you can't say, well, I'm not just doing this. I've won the games outright. No, you lost that one outright, too. So there you
Only
have it.
Lost 2 outright, and Packers.
Stop making up numbers that are inaccurate.
You Packers suck.
That's inaccurate. Oh, you said they suck. All right. Well, when we come back, there will be no sucking. Just talking on Cova Sports TV and 757 Sports Talk. We'll hear from Chicho's Pizza, too. Suck that down.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
What does happiness mean to you?
Being in the ocean with you, watching you catch super fun waves.
In Virginia Beach, happiness is breaking barriers and savoring the sunshine.
I couldn't pick a better place or a better person to be with. This is what makes me happy.
Happiness is going all out.
And taking it all in.
Here, happiness is whatever you make it. Find yours in Virginia Beach.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
All right, we're back here on 757 Sports Talk. I think that was the game-winning field goal kick, Ed. Was that New Kent's walk-off against the Packers? Is that right?
Now that I'm looking at it, I think we attempted the field goal because it didn't hit the crossbar.
Oh, is that what happened?
Run that back again. Run it back again.
You want to see it again? Okay, watch it again.
Right, we were inches away from winning that on the kick. Lord.
Kickers. Well, you know what? I can relate being an Arizona Cardinals fan because kickers.
You definitely can because
23-20 as Seattle did my guys in, and it was not a pretty sight whatsoever. But let's fire up a little bit of music here, shall we, as we give you a little bit of some football here with the picks for week number 4 in the league where they play for pay. Here's the season numbers. They're not attractive. They're not pretty whatsoever. Bruce has a 1-game lead over both me and the coach. And because Bruce went 2-1 last week, we will allow Bruce to go first with the selection, which you cannot copy more than one. That is the rule in this game. So I'll be nice and let you go first here because that's just how I am on this program. I try to be a nice guy. You're the evil basketball coach, as Stu likes to say. Here are Bruce's selections. You ready to see them?
Put them up.
Go ahead, Ed. Any of those enticed you?
He's got the Rams -3.5. Rams are playing. Who are the Rams playing? Colts. Ooh, Colts are interesting. Baltimore 2.5 against. Who's Baltimore playing? Come on now.
Come on. You don't know who's playing who.
I don't know.
You've done a lot of homework for this segment. Good to know. Ravens are playing at the Chiefs. 4 Eastern game. Come on, buddy. Get
that's the game. That's the game where both teams are 1-2, and somebody's going 1-3, and both teams have been talked about getting all the way to the Super Bowl.
This is true.
Wow.
This is true.
And of course, he has the Bears. Now I know who they're playing.
I bet you do.
I know who they're playing. 1.5 over my Raiders. I don't think I'm going to go with any of those. By the way, do go Baltimore beating Kansas City, and I do go Chicago beating Raiders, but I'm not picking those for my games. I'm going to take, for my first one, the one I felt the best about. I lost it here again. The Eagles over Tampa Bay. Eagles over Tampa Bay. Can't even find where
This is what I deal with, folks. He wants to do the picks before George Pontus, and he's not prepared.
3.5. Give me the Eagles 3.5.
Philly minus the 3.5 against Tampa. That's your first selection.
I like that.
I am glad to know that that was not one of the picks I was going to take. That Bills number is hefty, but it's not my first selection, though I think they will clobber the Saints. My first selection is going to be a copycat game of Bruce's. I am going with the Rams to get it done. I love this game all week against the Colts. I don't know how the Colts are undefeated with Daniel Indiana Jones, but I think Matthew Stafford and company will regroup and win by a decisive margin. That is pick number 1. Pick number 2, this one might bite me, and I've been looking at it hard, but I'm going to take that risk only because I look at it and I see Ed Young potentially stealing it on pick number 2 or pick number 3. There's another game I like a lot as well, but I'm going to go with it here, and I hope that hook doesn't bite me. And it's Houston in a must-win, desperate spot. You say they were last week against Jacksonville. Well, they were, and they lost that game. But they're taking on the Titans with a rookie quarterback in Houston, laying 7.5. If C.J. Stroud and the Texans don't win this game, I'm done with them the rest of the year. So give me the Texans, laying the 7.5 at home against Tennessee. Rams, Texans, the 2 picks. Now your 2 selections, Sir Edward.
Well, you were correct on the game I was looking at, but I'm going to the over-under. Tennessee, Houston, 38.5. I think 40 points is scored in that game. And I'm going to go over Tennessee, Houston.
Did you say 38.5 is the number?
38.5 is the number.
Is it really? Okay.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was that low. All right, we'll give it to you. What's your last selection here?
And my last selection, I think it's the first time I picked them. The Commanders over Atlanta.
Without Jaden Daniels, huh?
Without Jaden Daniels, they're getting 2.5 in Atlanta.
Are they getting 2.5? Because I'm showing 1.5. Are you cheating in this game?
I'm looking at what you sent me.
Okay. I'll give it to you. Don't say what service. They don't sponsor the show. Don't say the show.
All right. I'm not going to say FanDuel no more.
Don't say that. Why do you do that? Plus 2.5. You're killing me. You are killing me, ladies and gents. It's killing me.
I need some more good OJ.
You need something. It ain't OJ. All right.
We got to get a pool service out there to sponsor Full in the Pool, and I need an OJ company to sponsor me because I get OJ every Saturday morning.
You know how I feel about rookie quarterbacks. I've already talked about it. I just don't know that they're going to win these games. And thus, I'm going to go against another rookie quarterback, and that is Mr. Dart and the Giants. Sorry, Melinda, if you're out there watching. I know you love your Big Blue, your G-men out there. But 6.5-point home dog against the Chargers. I know it is West Coast to East Coast, so I'm breaking my rule here. If the Chargers win this game by 6 and I lose by half a point, I'm going to be so mad. Folks, you have my word. I will go to Ed Young's house and choke the living stuffings out of him. I will.
Oh, come on, Giants. Come on, Giants.
I will choke him out. He will be all choked up for next week's show.
I'm off record, even though I'm on the record. I think this is a win for the Giants. I really do. Not because you're going against. I really think they're going to
outright. Yeah. I sure hope you're wrong because the Chargers are my survivor pick. And if I don't win that, I don't survive. Okay? I don't survive. So I
got to feel I'm going to get another 2
I'll be upset, but they have to win the game outright.
I feel like I'm going to get another 2 a.m. call, people. I'm going to get another 2 a.m. call.
No 2 a.m. call. No, nothing from the jailhouse. We'll be good. We will be good. But I'm trying to win the $1 million in the survivor pool. And if I lose that game, I will detest the Giants more than I detest the Yankees and the Dodgers, which is saying something. We can't have a redo.
It is New York influence. You know how you are with New York.
All right.
We got to get you do the Frank the Tank. We'll do instead of Frank the Tank, we'll do Matt the Rat, and you just go off on the Giants.
Coming up next, George Pantas. Yeah, Ed's gonna go put on his wrestling costume, folks, after this timeout, because he has a bone to pick with George. He has some words. I guess we saved the best for last, right? Because
big show coming up October 4th. They're going to talk about it, and I get on.
You know, we got to have him on for 2 segments if he's willing to do it. We got to do it for 2 because you are really upset about this, aren't you? You're very upset.
I almost cussed George out on the air. I'm going to go put my jersey on because I feel good when I was doing it.
Don't do that. No, we won't. No, don't let me get the dumb button ready. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, because I was supposed to wear it to begin with. I'm going to go put it on. As soon as we go to break, I'm going to put it on. I'll be back. We'll have George Pantas talking about VCW and the little thing that he did that had a lot of people upset.
Yeah, well, you do a lot of things that make people upset too. But it's all coming your way here before we finish up shop here on this final Saturday of September 2025. And, before we say goodbye, we have to throw in one more pool adventure for September. And it's about, it's gonna get wet today, Ed. It's gonna rain. So what happens when?
All right, we're back with joke time. What do you get when you throw an elephant in the pool? Wet. Wet.
Get you some peanuts.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach, Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and your view, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV and interact with us wherever you may be tuning in. And we have a special guest with us. He was on with us back in the summertime with the big wrestling show that came to Hampton Roads. He is the former VCW commissioner, our good pal, the one and only George Pantos. George, how you been? Good to see you. Thank you for coming back on.
I have been well, and I am very happy to be back on your show. I look forward for us to talk about the exciting world of professional wrestling happening just around the corner and all the way up to Northern Virginia. VCW does what it does best, bring the best entertainment to all the fans in our beautiful state. And I can't wait to tell you all about it.
That's terrific. And Ed, though, does have one bone to pick with you as he shakes his head. He's a little upset. And it's not because of his Yankees, which he'll get later upset in October, George, when they go out early. But what are you upset about over there, Ed?
First of all, George, we welcome you on. You're a great friend of our show. We want you on. Great ambassador for wrestling. But at Lethal Lottery in Portsmouth Pavilion, you did something that shocked the wrestling world of the 757 and beyond. You turned bad. You turned heel. I was disappointed. You have never shown that in your life. You turned on one of our favorites, Brandon Scott. You went with the director, the guy who's been a nemesis for you for years. And I know we got more to talk about, but why, George? What the heck was going through your head?
Look, Ed, I respect you very much. God bless you for what you're doing as coaching with the youth of today with basketball and what you're doing here with this program. But I don't know what the hell I'm so sorry. Now you got me angry. I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh. I went in there and I finally shared my feelings and frustrations with Brandon Scott. So are you asking me to tell you the story right now? You want to know what happened with Brandon Scott?
Well, let's do this, okay? Let's update our audience first of all.
Okay,
Matt, you got this. You got the tape.
I do. Let's go to
it. Tape doesn't lie, George, and this is hard to watch. But watch what happened.
Wow. It was like Hogan with NWO, right, Ed?
George, you hit the man in the privates from behind. You didn't do it in front.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. Ed, you and I are friends on Facebook as well. Matt also. You saw what I went through the last, 4 months now with my knee. I had a total right knee replacement surgery. And I have to tell you, I was very disappointed with many of the so-called fans who very few reached out. Ed, you reached out and you said basically, hey, George, I hope you feel better. But then that was about it. Did you follow up? Did you call me? Did you text me? No. As a matter of fact, I'm angry with you as well right now. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. I want to tell you what happened with Brandon. So I was sitting there trying to figure out how am I going to pay for all this. I'm a former VCW commissioner, so the money isn't there like it was anymore. And of all places, I get a call from my so-called nemesis, like you said, Jerry Stefanicius, and he says, George, I want to pay. I will pay 100% for your surgery, but I need a favor. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't believe him. I didn't trust him. But the more I thought about it, I mean, I haven't hidden the fact that I've known Jerry since he was a little boy. His parents and I are very, very good friends. I've actually changed Jerry's diapers back when he was a baby. That's how far we go, okay? But honestly, like you're saying, Ed, I didn't trust him. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, but his parents raised him well. He said he's going to pay for it. I know he's going to keep his word. So I figured, what do I have to lose? I asked him, what is the favor? And he said, the favor is I want you to take care of Brandon when he least expects it in the ring. Well, let me tell you why I did what I did to Brandon, because I was justified, not 100%, Matt, not 2,000%, Ed, but 1,000,000%. All this time, Brandon was one of our, and still is, one of our amazing VCW stars. He was the longest VCW heavyweight champion over, several years. I was the one as the commissioner that made sure that he stayed on top and brought in talent to make sure everybody else could see how amazing he was. When he wanted to reach out to WWE, I was the one that got him on WWE and had him do some amazing extra work over there. And then he goes to have a wedding. Did he invite me to the wedding? No, he didn't. Did he? He was in a big Broadway show. They took it all over the United States, from New York to Vegas and everywhere else. Matt Cardona was in it. Mickey James was in it. Do I get an invitation to go to any of those? No. It's been eating in my crawl that he treats me this way. Yeah, we got the Greek. Give him a piece of baklava and a little ouzo and leave him alone. Well, that ain't going to make it anymore, Brandon Scott. I hope you're looking at this and you're looking at my face. That ain't going to make it anymore. I enjoyed what I did, and I'll gladly do it again. And Ed, that's why I did what I did. It was all Brandon Scott's fault. It wasn't my fault. He's the one responsible.
George, you're the commissioner. You're not his manager. Your job is to take VCW forward for everybody. Okay? You do that out of the kindness of who you are in the position that you're in. But to attack Brandon from behind, at least do it in front of his face. You're an upstanding, upright man. You've been that your whole life. And you did the coward way out. And this Stepanowski, Stupanupsi, whatever his name is, he hasn't paid you a cent yet. And you trusted him. Yeah, that's like telling the devil, here's the keys to the car. Make sure you bring it back. Yeah, I'll believe it when he pays it. You let a lot of people down. Now, I'll still call you friend. But I'm going to watch you side-eye from now on because you might turn on me. So I don't know. If this knucklehead next to me, Hatfield, says, hey, George, I'm going to help you out. But I need a favor you got to do to Ed Young.
Yes.
And he's the type that would do it.
I would.
I don't know if I can trust you. And George, in this business, trust is everything.
George, listen real quick. Ed's gone to places like Las Vegas, New York, all these big cities, honky-tonkin'. Does he ever bring his friend Matt Hatfield with him? No. I would do the same thing you did to Mr. Scott. Give me a 2x4 and I'll hit Coach Young in the head with it.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. There you go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it right here, that what I did was right, and Brandon was responsible for it. And Ed, I hear what you're saying. Jerry is paying me the money. I haven't seen it yet, but he is paying me the money, and I know that he will. And as a matter of fact, why don't you, Ed, I will have 2 tickets for you. And Matt, if you want to come, I'll have 2 tickets for you at October 4th. We're over at the Kroc Center. where Jerry Stefanidis, my new friend, is going to present me with an award.
Yeah. Check it out, folks. There it is, October the 4th. Doors open at 6:30. The bell time is at 7:30 Eastern. You see, presenting George Pontus with the award is the director, Jerry Stefanidis. And it's going to be at the Kroc Center. VCWProWrestling.com is the place online to find out more. And again, big time of wrestling coming up as we turn the calendar from September to October. George Pontus is our guest here on 757 Sports Talk, powered by Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead. You know you got a rebuttal there, Ed. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to say this. And I'm going to calm down because we got more to talk about. Watch yourself, George. This Jerry Snakaniski, Mouse Man, whatever he is, he liable to hand you that trophy across the back of your head, laugh, kick you when you're down, and say, what a fool. I've been telling you for years this guy's a fool. He has not paid a dime yet. You're waiting on it. My friend, I'm telling you, be careful, because I'm going to hate – if I'm at that show and it happens and they have to carry you out of that ring, I'm going to be next to you and I'm going to say, George, I told you so. You sold out.
First of all, his name is the director, Jerry Stefanidis. I respect what you're saying. I love you, but you're wrong. It's as easy as that. And Matt will back me up. You're wrong.
I do. Ed's wrong a lot. He's wrong a lot. You're 100% right here, George. I don't totally love what you did, but I understand it. You explained yourself. It makes sense to me. And because sometimes in life when you're frustrated, you got to do things that don't always seem right at the time, but they're justified. So listen, if you ever give me an opportunity to hit Ed from the backside with a 2x4, I'm all there for it. So just give me some ideas and I'll make it happen. No doubt.
Well, let's see how he conducts himself October 4th, and then we'll have a little private conversation. I have your number. But Ed, I hope you and Matt are there. We have an exciting card filled from top to bottom. The main event is a old school lumberjack match. Our heavyweight.
Hold on, George. Calm down.
Okay.
I think we need to take a timeout. If I'm not mistaken, Matt will let us know. Then I need to calm down. I'm going to tell you right now, I need to calm down. And we can talk about the show in earnest and kind of get away from the idea that you sold out.
Okay. We will take a quick time out and come back with more with George Pontus, the former VCW commissioner. But don't forget, not only a big event coming up October the 4th, you see it on our screen there, September 27th, big event, October 18th, Fredericksburg, Virginia, November 15th, Alexandria. They're going all over the Commonwealth of Virginia, VCW Pro Wrestling. And again, we'll tell you more about what's coming up on October the 4th with George Pontus being presented an award from the director. Again, VCWProWrestling.com is the website. More on the way here. You're watching 757 Sports Talk, and it's streaming all the time with us on Cova Sports TV.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You Get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and that evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
As you heard, the evil basketball coach is Ed Young. Former VCW Commissioner George Pantis back with us here for more about VCW Pro Wrestling coming up October the 4th at the Kroc Center in Norfolk, Virginia. As always, VCWProWrestling.com for more details as we welcome you back here to 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. George, it's always exciting to have wrestling in the Hampton Roads area. I was mentioning just a couple weekends ago back on the show, I know you took your grandson to the big wrestling event at the Scope. My niece, who's only 9, she's already a wrestling fanatic, and the kids love it just as much, if not more, sometimes than the adults, don't they?
Very much, very much. And I want to thank you for that commercial because that gave me the opportunity to calm down myself. Ed, I apologize for I apologize. We'll just leave it at that. And I love you, and I appreciate both of you, Matt, having me on here. And yes, my grandson Johnny absolutely loved it. He had his signs up, and he's singing and dancing with everybody, and the place was packed. I was so happy to see it. It pretty much sold out, and I think it did. And I'm happy that you say your granddaughter.
No, my niece. She's 9 years old. It's funny. Her father and me both grew up as diehard. Then I kind of fell off it because of other sports I'm covering. But we grew up loving the old wrestling stars like the Hulk Hogan's, the Macho Man's, the Ted DiBiase's had the wrestling figurines and the wrestling buddies.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here! We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
well, no, we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in no phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cova Sports TV. Already, share, and subscribe. And loving it now with all the different things it's doing and its growth. And VCW's got similar growth and a lot of excitement and buzz around it.
We are very blessed. Thank you for putting up the design earlier of how we're going all over the place. And as a matter of fact, we'll add one more to it. So after we finish up in Alexandria in November, we'll be coming back to the Norfolk Masonic Temple, basically our home here in the Hampton Roads area. And we'll be there on December the 6th. So September 27, October 4th, October 18, November 15th, pretty much up in Northern Virginia. But we're coming back home December the 6th. But there it is. So, yes, we want fans to show up because Mrs. Stefaniches is going to give me the Jerry Award. If you heard of the Oscar, according to Jerry, this is even better than that. It's the Jerry Award, and I can't wait to get it. And I'm sure he's going to place it in my hands, Ed, nice and smooth. And we'll go from there. Also, as I was saying on the card, we have an old-school lumberjack match. Our heavyweight champion, Rex Lawless, versus former VCW heavyweight champion, The Boar. And they have been at each other's throats for quite a long time. And this is the only way that they can contain them and keep them into the ring. We have a tag team VCW match, the brand new VCW tag team champions, Nice and Smooth versus Sexy and Blessed. We have the Golden Pinky Society with another tag team match against Commander King and Big AC. Myron Malone versus Ryan Zuko. We have the Greek god Papadon versus Alex Devine. Joseph Keys, former VCW heavyweight champion himself, is going to be in action against LDJ. The card is packed from top to bottom. It's easy to get to the Kroc Center. And honestly, this is also a fundraiser for the Salvation Army. And so we hope that everybody shows up. You're going to have a great time. This way the Salvation Army can also make some money, and it's a win-win for everybody. As you said, Ed, the Kroc Center, it's actually fans on Ballantyne, where the intersection of Ballantyne and Prince Descent come together in Norfolk. Easy to find. Go to our website, vcwprowrestling.com, for tickets. Go on our Facebook. We are all over the place. We are on YouTube as well. You can see some of the footages that Matt played earlier, plus more, and you can get more information as to the individual rivalries between the different wrestlers. We have a lot of young lions that I started the process.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
You can see some of the footages that Matt played earlier, plus more, and you can get more information as to the individual rivalries between the different wrestlers. We have a lot of young lions that I started the process years ago of going out as the commissioner and bringing in that young talent who are hungry and want to show to a new audience what they can do. And of course, the desire is to move onward and make it into the WWE or AEW, New Japan. And we've been very, very fortunate that has happened with several of our wrestlers.
Now, George, let's go over a couple of things now. You talked about lumberjack match. Maybe some of our listeners not quite sure. Lumberjack match, two combatants in.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement.
They throw them back in because we have to have a definite finish in the ring for the lumberjack match. And we're not sure how many guys will be around that ring, but it's going to be a whole lot, correct?
It's going to be a whole lot. Pretty much the other wrestlers who are on the card and some of the other talent that we have. We always try to give opportunities to young wrestlers that want to prove themselves. They'll come in early, work out in the ring. So definitely it will be there, because the last time that the Boar and Rex themselves, and then they'll check in back when I was the commissioner.
They will contact you, the commissioner at the time, and they might take some of the guys and use them as enhancement talent. Suedo security, if I'm not mistaken. How does that process work?
Yes, and I have no problem sharing that information. It is vital as they set up the different scenarios and storylines, if you will, that security is needed. Things are going to go out of hand, and so they'll reach out to us. Sometimes they'll reach out individually to the wrestlers themselves, and then they'll check in. Back when I was the commissioner, they would check in with me to see if it was okay, and of course I would always say yes, because at the end of the day, We are independent wrestling. It is where they learn their craft, and we want them to go on. So Brandon Scott, Commander King was on AEW recently, Joe Keys, these guys that are on the card October the 4th, they have been on national television. And so AEW will reach out to me, and then because of the relationship that I have with them, it's a lot easier for us to provide them the talent. I'll be quite honest, with WWE, it's not as easy anymore as it was before. Prior to TKO buying WWE, I had a much closer relationship with them, and I could deal with them directly. Now WWE is part of the bigger umbrella of TKO, and it's not as easy to get to the right people. And I understand that. I respect that. I've enjoyed my time with what I was able to do with WWE. We haven't said goodbye. We haven't parted ways. It's just different channels and different people now that we have to go through. And there's such a bigger machine, if you will, that it makes sense that they're consolidating and making sure that things have to be followed in a certain procedure.
A few more minutes here with George Pontus, the former VCW commissioner, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. And again, coming up on October the 4th, it is the big VCW Pro Wrestling show. Doors opening at 6:30 Eastern, 7:30 bell time. Again, VCWProWrestling.com, the website, and it's going to be at the Kroc Center in Norfolk. For more, again, VCWProWrestling.com. It is 757 Sports Talk. Ed?
Well, I would say before we go to break, people, get your ticket early. These shows sell out. Front row's already gone. That's gone. But the Kroc Center, just like the Masonic Temple, and by the way, people, the VCW fans, don't go to Masonic Temple like we normally do. Kroc Center, make sure you understand. And you still got the good thing I like about it is there's still good seats. Some people say, oh, I don't want to sit up in the nosebleed. No, it ain't that tight. Okay? It's not 1 million seats, so you got to get there. But front row is gone because at these type of shows, especially VCW, front row is where to be. Matt and I went back early in the summer. We went to a show, or it might have been last spring. We sat in the second row, and he was amazed at how close we were to the action. I got on a couple of the wrestlers, guys wearing pink tights. I had to get on them, and they said some choice words to me. They held me back because I was getting ready to go in the ring. You ain't going to talk crap to me. I ain't going to do something about it. But make sure people get there. Opens up 6:30. Get your tickets. Get some bites to eat. And the other thing about VCW, and I know we got to go to break, the wrestlers come out. And George, I'm going to give you. I've been yelling at you all day tonight in this show because you deserve it. But you are instrumental in having wrestlers come out to the fans, signing autographs, taking pictures. You know, somebody might bring something, and the wrestler will sign it. It ain't charging $100 like the big shows do. And I know that's a good credit to you. I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we also have vendors that will sell different wrestling memorabilia as well. And so it's a win-win for everybody. And yes, that was a big thing for me. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that, of making sure the wrestlers come out, because going back to what we were saying about your niece there, Matt, it's important that especially the kids have that interaction with the wrestlers. And it's a blessing and a win-win for everybody.
Well, George, it's always a pleasure. Before we let you go, I want to apologize for Ed's behavior on this particular episode of the program. He's just been all over your case for you turning quote-unquote heel. He needs to understand and recognize you are one of the most popular figures in our entire Commonwealth, loved by all the Greeks everywhere. But even beyond that, I mean, there are famous actors like, take John Lovitz, for example, that you hobnob with.
We look alike. What do you think?
Look at this, Ed.
What do you think?
I don't see it.
George and John Lovitz.
Too handsome?
Yeah,
you're way better looking.
You're way better looking.
No, we both look the same. Nice and handsome. Thank you so much. You were amazing.
Thank you.
Final
Thank you for the article.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. John Lovitz and George are best buddies. You better be nice to George, Ed, because he might get you a chance to meet Aaron Judge or somebody from your Yankees or something one day.
Keep telling people, George is as well known in the wrestling business as anybody. You go to Facebook, go to his page. And you're not just jumping in a picture of these guys. These guys know him by name. They when he has his birthday, they contact him. Everybody knows George in the business. This is why I'm upset. George
always upset. George
let a lot of people down because he's such a good dude. to this Jerry Stipinitsky or whatever his name is, the director, and the director is going to give an award. And I'm telling you, I hope it doesn't happen, George, but I'm telling you, I don't trust this guy as much as I can throw Matt a mile away.
Hey.
This dude may hit you on the head with this doggone trophy. I don't trust him. There's been many years of bad blood, and you always got the upper hand on this joker. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm upset. I don't want to see anything happen to you.
Matt, no respect from Matt. I don't know what else to say.
This is what I deal with on every Saturday basis. Do you see what I go through? It's unbelievable.
Yes, I watched the show, and I feel for you.
Thank you.
I love you both.
Days, I want to get this knucklehead right over here. This one, not the one down there. This one in the ring.
No,
because it's going to be pow right in the kisser. Short match. I win.
No, I can outrun you. And I can dodge
the 2x4. I'll have Hacksaw Jim Duggan there. And we'll go, oh, and give you the 2x4.
That's right. That's what we want. George Pantas, former VCW commissioner, again coming up October the 4th. Be there, be square. You don't want to miss it. Croc Center in Norfolk, VCWProWrestling.com. The doors open at 6:30, and the bell time is at 7:30. Ding, ding. Get in the ring, and you can always heckle Ed Young from wherever you're sitting, and wherever you're sitting, you can do that. George, always a pleasure, my friend. You be well, and I will see you in October.
Thank you, gentlemen. Love you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
George Pantas, our special guest here. We've got more coming your way. Don't touch that dial. NFL picks around the corner, too. It is 757 Sports Talk, and it's streaming all the time on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Hail to the... What? Wait a second. They're the Commanders now. What in the world? Hey, Tecumseh. What do you think of that? Tecumseh. I don't think he's amused. But let's go back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Hatfield and Young on Cova Sports TV.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe as we put the finishing touches on this episode. If you missed any of today's show, you can go back and watch it on Cova Sports TV. Plus, you can check it out on the telly. That's right. We are available on television through Cox and Your View, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays at 12 noon Eastern, and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Channel 60 in Hampton Roads, Channel 74 in Northern Virginia, Channel 77 in Fredericksburg, and Channel 9 in Roanoke. And again, always hit that subscribe button to Cova Sports TV to get notified when we go live. You can go back and watch replayed episodes of the program. Oh, by the way, what else is happening? Well, if you missed the NFL picks earlier, we want to thank our special guests, which include the likes of Lonnie Andrews III, Travis Johnson, the Michigan commit, and Coach Chris Scott, all of the Oscar Smith Tigers, plus George Panthus and Greg Madia. Greg Madia, the Daily Progress, discussing UVA's big upset of Florida State, and George Panthus talking about the big VCW wrestling show coming up next Saturday. Our man Bruce Pearl, his NFL picks earlier in the show. He took Philly -3.5. I'm sorry, that's not Bruce Pearl. It's Ed Young's picks. Let's go to Bruce Pearl's picks. Here we go. Bruce Pearl took the Rams laying 3.5 in their game against the Colts at home. He's got Baltimore laying the 2.5 in a 4 o'clock Eastern showdown at Kansas City. Someone's dropping to 1-3 unless there's a tie. And he's taking the Bears +1.5 against Ed Young's Las Vegas Raiders. So he's got Caleb Williams evening the record at 2-2 on the season. As for the coach, Edward Vincent Young, his picks this week, there they are for Coach Young in the National Football League. He's going Philly -3.5. He's got the Eagles getting the 4-0 and covering against Tampa Bay with an MVP candidate in Baker Mayfield. He's taken over the total in Texans and not Colts. That is Texans and Titans. We'll get that corrected, folks. We do apologize about that. He's going over the total in Houston and Tennessee. So he's going over the total of 38.5 for Houston, Tennessee, and Washington, plus the 2.5. As he's going with the Commanders to get it done, minus Jaden Daniels as they go on the road to take on Atlanta, who, remember, last year in overtime on Sunday Night Football, they had to beat to clinch a playoff spot. Daniels, then a rookie, beating then a rookie Michael Penix in Atlanta, who fell flat last week against the Carolina Panthers. How about my picks for the National Football League? Week number 4. Yes, yours truly, Matt Hatfield's going with the Rams, laying at 3.5. I'm taking Houston, laying the 7.5 against those Titans. Worried about the hook, and I'm going with the Chargers, going West Coast to East Coast to get it done and covered -6.5. So there you have it. That's going to wrap up this edition of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and you're always welcome to interact with us. And enjoy the rest of your sports weekend, everyone, and we'll talk to you as the calendar moves from September to October. See you later.